be true. And when you dance, I'm in the groove. You make me move, you make me move. You got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true. And when you dance, I'm in the groove. You make me move, you make me move.
Good evening and welcome to 365 Language Planet. This is Let's Speak English and Nihongo in collaboration with the RSU PAL Center of Ransit University International College in Bangkok, Thailand. Before we start, let's look at last month's 365 Language Planets. This month's 365 Language Planets, who are Zayar Mint, Takanona, Aya Miatira, Charming, A Hybrid, and YO. Way to go! If you want to become a 365 Language Planet, all you need to do is share an idea in the chat. So, let's begin! Hajimemashou. The theme of episode 40 of this show is community events. And to talk about this topic with us is PK. Good evening, PK.
Good evening, everyone. I'm PK.
Are you excited to talk about community events?
Yeah, they're a big part of my culture.
Oh, great. I'm excited to talk with you about them and the viewers. All right, so let's begin. All right, so the first question of tonight's show is, what kind of community events did you go to as a child? 日本語で子供の頃はどんな地域のイベントに参加していましたか? So, PPK, what do you think? What kind of community events did you go to as a child?
Well, in my culture, there are a lot of community events every month. So, in my area, it doesn't get boring because there are like a lot of events every other day. My favorite events would be events that involve food because Burmese food is very delicious. They would give away free food to everyone if they come to in front of their houses. So they will give away food to everyone, the rich, the poor, everyone. And they are like a favorite part. My favorite part of my day is going to these homes and getting as much food as I can. And there are also events like water festivals where people splash water to each other. And there's like lantern festivals where they would light up little lanterns at night and such. So there are like a lot of interesting events there in my country.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It sounds like a really fun place to visit. All right. Okay, so let's ask the viewers, what kind of community events did you go to as a child? 子供の頃はどんな地域のイベントに参加していましたか? Please write your answer in the chat or in the comments. チャットまたはコメントに答えを書いてください. You have 4 minutes. All right. So you were saying, PBK, about like people would have like parties at their homes, kind of like a party, I guess, and lots of people could come over and eat food.
Well, it's a form of party. It's more of a charity
Nice.
because there are there may sometimes be singing and dancing, but it's mostly about charity.
I
So
see.
people of all classes, all ages would come to these homes and just talk and eat and such.
I see. That sounds fun. That sounds like a lot of fun. And yeah, in Japan, we have kind of community events like that too. Just this weekend, my community, we had a big not so big, but a community event, and it's like there's like a community house, and volunteer fathers and mothers cooked lots of yakisoba noodles,
I see.
like so much yakisoba noodles, and and then they kind of give them to people who live in the community. All right, Nora, thank you so much for joining tonight's show. Nora says, I danced on the stage at the Tingguan Festival as a child. I'm sure I'm not saying that correctly. Do you know that festival, PBK?
Yes, it's
How do you
it's a form of festival. Yes.
how do you pronounce it?
It's Qihua
Qingguan
Festival.
Qingguan Festival. Cool. All right, Kan Mama, thank you for joining tonight's show. She says, I went to the Jomo Karuta event as a child. Do you know Jomo Karuta? I do. It's a kind of card game for with cards specially made for this region of Japan. It's a fun game. Zayar Mint, thank you for joining tonight's show. Zayar Mint says, I sing a song and dance at the Happy Festival in my country when I was a child. Sounds fun. Did you sing and dance too, PPK?
Yeah, when I was young, I would join a lot of these events, and I would just take part in the fun.
Wow, sounds great. Noda says, I know PPK is sick, so his mom is coming tomorrow. Your mom's gonna visit you?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Wow. That's exciting. Exciting. All right. I know in Guma, there's we have a dance too. It's called the Dambe dance. And today there's Big City Festival, and many groups are kind of doing this Dambe dance. If you're interested in learning more about it, I think you could probably Google it. Just Google Dambe dance, Guma. It's a very interesting community event. All right. Well, the question was, what kind of community events did you go to as a child? 子供の頃はどんな地域のイベントに参加していましたか? So, Nora says, I like going to festivals. That is so fun. Right. So, if you're still typing and try to answer this question, please continue, and you can share your answers anytime. Now, let's move on to the next section. So, now you can write a new question in the chat or in the comments. チャットまたはコメントに新しい質問を書いてください. You have 4 minutes. All right. So, now one thing you know about my my hometown in Oregon, we had many different types of community events. And as a child, like some of my favorite community events were my brother's sports games. So like a high school game, basketball game.
Oh,
It was
is
really
it
fun, really fun.
is
Okay,
it in America?
yes, in America. Yes. All right, well, let's see. Zayar Mint said, PK, what kind of community event in your life now, I guess, and recently? Do you have any community events in your life recently?
No, because I'm now focusing on my studies because my exams are drawing near. So yeah.
I see. Great question, Zayar Mint. And Noah says, Garrett, what kind of community event in your life? Nice question too. For me, I live in Japan, and so I joined my communities events in Japan, festivals, little festivals, at the kind of community center house, and cook lots of food, and the kids play the kind of Japanese drum, like taiko drum. Very interesting. I was asked PPK, did you go to any like kind of sports events as a child?
Sports events. As a child, I was never a fan of any sports. I just like to play games at home. So I was, you can say, an introvert. So I wouldn't bother going to any sports events.
Nice.
But older people like to watch sports games, but I was never a fan of that.
Yeah, it is. Everywhere is different. Like in my where I live now, we had a community sports day, like kind of competition. It was very interesting. We played a game called Tug of War, like a long rope and two teams kind of pulling.
Yes.
It's a very interesting game. 15 people versus 15 people. So that's quite the game. Have you ever played Tug of War?
Yeah, as a child, they're like also Burmese games that involve tug of war. So yes,
It's very interesting, isn't it?
yes.
I think so. All right. Well, if you have a question, please write and share your question in the comments or in the chat anytime. Right. Okay. Well, if you're still typing, please continue. You can share your questions anytime. But now let's move on to the second question of tonight's show, which is, what do you think are the good and bad points of having community events? Oh, we just got a big one. Grandma Kay, thank you for joining tonight's show. Grandma Kay says, I just went to a festival at a nearby shrine. I was a passive child. The rebound effect is happening since I became an adult. Wow, interesting. So her kind of personality shifted, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting if, like 5 years, 10 years, maybe 40 years from now, if your personality changes. Do you think it might?
Yeah, it might. It's a possibility.
Yeah, you never know, right? Okay. Well, we got a new question. So in Nihongo de, community event を開催することの いい点と悪い点は何だと思いますか？ Nora says, when you are always on the move, working remotely is easy to slip into isolation. That's true. Okay. Well, what do you think, PPK? What are the good and bad points of having community events?
Well, I can come up with a lot of good points about community events. Like it's fun, everyone loves them. It's a great way to replenish your energy after boring, mundane, and exhausting days of work. And on the other hand, if I have to come up with a bad point, I think for certain people like me who are like kind of introverted, they might require a lot of energy to participate because some people might hate crowds, loud
Yes.
noises, and community events are involve these things. So, you, so it also might take a lot of time uh, to prepare for these events, like dressing up,
Oh, yeah.
making costumes, preparing things. It's also kind of expensive to preparing all these things. So, but all in all, I enjoy these events.
Good points. Great points. All right. Well, let's ask the viewers. What do you think are the good and bad points of having community events? コミュニティイベントを開催することのいい点と悪い点は何だと思いますか？ Please write your answer in the chat or in the comments. チャットまたはコメントに答えを書いてください。Yes, so it's, every country and I think, every event is a little bit different. But in Japan, some of the events require community members to volunteer and like help set up, help cook, help manage the event, and so it's kind of exhausting if you're a volunteer. So for me, that's the kind of one of the bad points of community events. I have to get up like 6:30 a.m. or 7 a.m. to go to the community center and help. So
They definitely require some energy and money.
yes. But like a good point, brings the community together. I've met like lots of different neighbors. And so I think I'm trying to encourage more people to join, especially foreigners in Japan, to join their community events so they can learn more about Japanese culture and kind of become a part of the larger community. But it's tough. A lot of people like to just stay home and play games. So it's tough to get people to come out sometimes. Yes. What do you think are the good and bad points of having community events? コミュニティイベントを開催することのいい点と悪い点は何だと思いますか？ Please write your answer in the chat or in the comments. チャットまたはコメントに答えを書いてください。All right, Nora says they add structure, fun, and social balance to remote life, especially when your colleagues are scattered across time zones. Sounds interesting. Nice. Yeah, the whole I think the social part is very important and fun.
It can be difficult to manage schedules for each person because people have their own things to do.
Yes. And nowadays with lots of online work, like people are doing lots of online work, so maybe they have less social time with others, and so community events are a good chance to meet, which is great. All right, Takesh, thank you for joining tonight's show. Takesh says, I think the bad point is the silent pressure to participate in events in rural communities. Yeah, there is a lot of pressure to volunteer. Oh, funny. So,
Yes,
yeah, it's kind of,
I can kind of relate to it because even if I don't feel like going to one of those events, my family would make me come because we have sort of a image to keep up.
yes. Yeah. All right. Notice says community events are part of everyday life at Nomadico. That sounds interesting. What's is Nomadico a town? Grandma Kay says, thanks to the organizers, we can enjoy, but they have a lot of work to do, both preparing and cleaning up. That's true. Nice. Thank you, Grandma Kay, for sharing. Great job, everyone. All right. Well, now let's move on to the next section. You can write a new question in the chat or in the comments. チャットまたはコメントに新しい質問を書いてください。You have 4 minutes. Yes. I know. I know. I think actually, you're a lot like my son. My son is kind of introverted and not a big fan of playing the drums. Instead of going to drum practice. But it's I think we want to encourage him to join, just to participate, meet people, but he's not so comfortable.
Yes, these days, young people like me would rather stay at home doing things on our little phones or devices, such.
Yes. So, yeah, but I think it's kind of always for me I try to challenge my son, but I try to be careful not to challenge him too much. And it's very as a just anyone challenge, like always trying to challenge yourself a little bit is very important. So, all right. Zayar Mint says PK, introverts is so maybe I think her question is maybe are community events good for introverts?
Well, introverts generally tend to have a small social circle. So if you want to expand your circle, I think social events are the best way to do it because there's like less pressure in approaching strangers compared to normal everyday life because it's a social event. Everyone can talk, everyone can have fun, you can make friends there.
Sounds great. Yeah, I think just maybe the important thing is like having a rest time like afterwards. You might get have it it might kind of really because it's kind of challenging yourself to be social, and it's probably very exhausting. And so you need some time to like after the event to kind of recharge. Okay. Okay, Zayar Mint says PK is PK's dad. Wow, sounds great. Nora. I see. All right. Well, if you have a question, please feel free to share your question in the chat or in the comments. チャットまたはコメントに新しい質問を書いてください。In America, there's not as many community events as from like in Japan or Myanmar. Takesh says, Garrett and PK, do you have sports days at school in your country? Next question.
Well, in my country, we generally tend to put great emphasis on academics rather than sports. There are a lot of sports events, but they tend to be less frequent than the academic times. So there are definitely sports events, mainly traditional Burmese games. And football is one of the most popular sports events, even in Myanmar.
Wow.
Yes.
I see. I'm not sure about the U.S. nowadays, but when I was in junior high school, we had one big sports day event, but only 1 year, and so I think maybe they've kind of cut down on doing kind of big sports events at schools. Grandma Kay says, "What events do you want to go to recently?" Any idea, PK? What events do you want to go to recently?
If I after exams are over and everything's over, university life, this semester over, if I have to choose one of the events, and I don't really have one specifically in mind, but I think I will celebrate Christmas because it's getting nearer. And I think I cannot go back to my country because there's like war happening there. But I think my family will kind of come visit, so I think I can have a chance to celebrate with them.
Wow, sounds great. All right. Well, let's try to answer these questions quickly. Nora says, PK and Garrett, Korean or Chinese? What language do you prefer?
Korean, Chinese?
Yes.
I think they are both beautiful languages. I love Korean drama series. I love Chinese martial art movies. I don't really have a preference.
Okay. And Zayar Mint says, PK, are you playing football?
I used to play.
I see.
As a kid, I would play so much football. I often get injuries.
Oh, no. Okay. Great job, everyone. Nice work. Let's move on to the last question of tonight's show, which is, what kind of new event would you like to have in your community? 日本語で、あなたのコミュニティではどのような新しいイベントを開催したいですか? So, PK, what do you think? What kind of new event would you like to have in your community?
If I have to name one, well, I think it will be the one where it involves some kind of food.
Yes.
Well, there are a lot of events that involve food in my country, but usually when there's like food event, only one household hosts that event.
Wow.
So I would like an event where there are multiple hosts, so there can be a
Lots of food.
and healthy amount of food.
Healthy and a good variety.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds great. Sounds great. All right, well, let's ask the viewers, what kind of new event would you like to have in your community? あなたのコミュニティではどのような新しいイベントを開催したいですか? Please write your answer in the chat or in the comments. チャットまたはコメントに答えを書いてください。You have 4 minutes. All right. So in the U.S., sometimes we have what's called a potluck. Have you ever heard of a potluck?
Potluck. I think I've heard of it. Is it where you bring food
Yes.
to the host house and everyone eat together?
Yes. It could be at a host house, or it could be at kind of like a church, for example, which is kind of like a community center. And so,
I would love to participate in it.
yeah, it is fun. Lots. There's kind of big variety of food and lots of food. Okay, Miyatira says, I like donations fun fair. Sounds great. All right, thank you for sharing. So, what kind of new event would you like to have in your community? あなたのコミュニティではどのような新しいイベントを開催したいですか? Please write your answer in the chat or in the comments. チャットまたはコメントに答えを書いてください。So, yeah, my town where I live in Japan now has a lot of community events. And so we kind of, as a family, we kind of wish they would kind of decrease a little bit. Or, we don't say decrease, but we say combine together. And so, just so there's a summer festival and a fall festival. But summer season is so hot. And so let's just, do all the summer activities, during the fall festival. Sounds reasonable, we think, but a lot of our community members really want to keep the tradition.
I see.
Okay, Nora. Nope, she wants to apologize for talking about your family, but that's okay. I think that's okay, right, PK?
It's okay.
It's okay, Nora. No problem. Okay, Zayar Mid says, I like water festival in my country. It's in April. Its name is called Chingam Festival in Myanmar. That sounds cool. Yeah, I mean, I've heard, I think that's very popular in Thailand too, right?
What sort of festival?
The water festival. You kind of throw.
Oh yes, it's very, very, very popular. In fact,
Especially
if it's so popular, so many people participate in it, and accidents would happen.
Oh no. Okay, Takesh says, I don't need more events since I have to attend them even if I'm not interested. Oh no. Yeah, it's a little bit of an issue in Japan. Yeah, then they need I'm sure in Japan the population is kind of aging, and so there's less young people who can help set up events and do things, and so there's more pressure to help because there's less people. Sounds
see.
tough. All right. Well, if you're still typing, please continue and you can share your answer to this question anytime. Okay. Well, let's move on to the last section of tonight's show. So please write a new question in the chat or in the comments. チャットまたはコメントに新しい質問を書いてください. You have 4 minutes. All right. Have you ever heard of Oktoberfest?
October what?
Oktoberfest. Like festival.
No, not really. What
No.
is it?
It's some kind of like tradition in Germany. They kind of do like a maybe 2 or 3 weeks kind of festival, I guess, and they call it Oktoberfest. And maybe there's
see.
yeah, and so that's one kind of event I would like to have more of in Guma. But if any event that has beer is usually for me it's a good event. All right. Nona says I like trading presents with my family and friends at Christmas. Sounds fun. Zayarmin says, BK, do you like any festivals in Thailand?
Well, if I have to name a few, I would go with the water festival. As I mentioned earlier, it's very, very popular, and there are like a lot of food events in water festival, and the streets will be bustling everywhere. And the only thing I don't like about the water festival would be the traffic conjunctions, because there are like so many people and so many vehicles.
I see. Sounds very interesting. I wonder, in Japan there are a lot of firework festivals in the summer, and it's like like all the cities kind of have a separate like fireworks festival day. Are there many fireworks festivals in Myanmar or Thailand?
Yes, there is a firework festival in Myanmar. In Thailand, I'm not sure. The only time I've seen Thailand celebrate with fireworks would be on New Year.
Yeah. And in the U.S., there are a few cities that do that too on New Year's. But when it comes to July 4th, like Independence Day, almost every town in America has a fireworks festival.
Oh,
Yes, on July 4th. So, oh no, that's so sweet. She says, I want to trade presents with PK and Garrett. Well, thank you, Nora. We should do that. So, in America, like every town and city has a fireworks festival on July 4th. And so it's fun, it's great, but it's kind of sad because it's like you can only go to one, you can only be in one place at one time. So I really like how they do it in Japan. They're like, okay, this city is like the first weekend, and this city is the next weekend, and this city is the next weekend. And so, like, it's Japan is a great place for people who love fireworks.
I sure would love to visit one of the events.
Yeah, you can see a lot of them. All right. Well, if you're still typing, please continue, and you can always ask us new questions in the chat or in the comments anytime. All right. Well, that's the end of tonight's show. Thank you guys very much for studying with us. The Let's Speak English and Nihongo podcast in collaboration with our RSU Pal Center is every Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Japan Standard Time, which is 6:30 p.m. Bangkok time. I am Tira says thank you guys. Good night. Thank you for joining the show. So, like I said, if you haven't already, please subscribe and give the show a big thumbs up. Anything you want to say, PK?
Hi, everyone. It was fun to talk about community events with you.
Yeah, so fun. Thank you guys. Thank you, PK, for sharing a lot about your hometown and Thailand. And thanks the audience for sharing too. Our pleasure. Thanks. All right, so we will see you next time. また次回うちに会いましょう。Okay, Grandma K says it was good listening practice. Thank you. Our pleasure. All right, well, have a good night.